Hey gang, we are now on a gravel road, a logging road. We are in the Bankhead National Forest in Alabama. And we are on an adventure. Four-wheel drive up another 3 miles or so, and we're going to be finding the cemetery of a legendary woman back from the Civil War era. Ghostly story, and this is quite an adventure, so be right back. Okay, we are close. We're coming right up the road here, and basically this is the legend of Aunt Jenny Johnston. And basically she lived in a homestead with her family, and I believe this is it right up here. I think it had burned down, and this might be a rebuild. I'm not sure, but it looks to be an old log cabin up there. Very interesting. So we are headed to the cemetery, and it's about a quarter mile up the road here on the left. And as I said, we're in the Bankhead National Forest, the land of 1,000 waterfalls. And very small cemetery. You would never know it's here. Way back in the Alabama woods. All right, we'll pick it up right when we get there. It is completely silent here. This is a really spooky place. Just pulled the car over. The cemetery is down this little path we're going to walk. We could drive in, but I don't want to drive in. We're going to walk in and see this for the first time together. But you can see way in and down. It's a really spooky place, like I said. We're in Lawrence County, Alabama. Like I said, we're in the Bankhead National Forest. The homestead you saw is right up the road here, and it's like walking back in time to the Civil War. I can only imagine what's back there. I can't wait to see. We're gonna see it together. But I want to thank Brett Butler, who I think lives around here, who gave me the heads up to this story. Thank you, Brett. Yeah, it was worth the drive to come in here. This is an adventure. There's a turkey vulture circling. And I think Lawrence County, on my GPS, of course, the signal went out, but the GPS kept going, and it said Haleyville or Haleyville. Not sure if that's right or not. But the cemetery is called Poplar Spring. And you would never know. I looked on Google Earth, you can't hardly see it. It's in the middle of the woods. So let's take a walk in there, and I will tell you the story of Aunt Jenny Johnston, the legend of Aunt Jenny Johnston. Yeah, we're going to go right down this road here, and we'll see what... Is it her grave by itself? Are there other graves? I don't know. I'm really interested to see. But as we walk in, I'm told it's not very far. But I'll tell you the story as we explore these woods here. Of course, she lived here with her husband, and they raised 10 children here. They had an inn and tavern, which may have been that homestead, I'm not sure. But the husband, I don't know what his name is, but they were giving aid. Of course, this was Confederate territory, and they were giving aid to deserters, people that didn't want to, that wanted to remain neutral, and other people. And I think the word got around, or one of their sons they were trying to draft wouldn't join up. So what happened was the Home Guard came in. Now the Home Guard, the Confederacy, all of the little towns here had what's called the Home Guard, which were mostly planters, old guys who couldn't get, they were too old to fight, or they were exempt for whatever reason. But they formed these guards, and they had ranks and positions, and working for the Confederacy, as a last defense, but also to, root out deserters and things like that. So they came here, they came over there to that homestead. Look at these, look in there, that is so spooky. And they came in there, and they took her husband and they put him up in a tree. And I think they were going to hang him, or they were trying to scare him. And as they were doing so, one of her sons ran out to try to help his dad. And they shot him, they killed him. They subsequently hung him, they killed him, and left. So Aunt Jenny Johnston had made this oath with her other boys, remaining boys, that they were going to get these guys. They knew who they were. These were all local people. And they were going to get them. They were going to kill them one by one. That's what they did. Here's the cemetery. Look at this. Just rounded the corner here. Amazing. Right in the middle of the woods. Let's take a look through here. So yeah, they hunted them down one by one. These Home Guard guys. And it is said that she first shot the leader of the Home Guard herself, and she had made a soap dish out of his skull. And of course, that what followed was the killings of the rest. She had a wooden cane in which she cut a notch for every death of these Home Guard guys. And as the posse members, her sons, as they brought the bodies back to her, she'd carve another notch. Even though her sons had hunted down all these guys, in the process they were all killed. And Aunt Jenny Johnston, she outlived all but one of her children. She lived to be 98. And she said on her deathbed, she was talking about her boys, and she said how proud she was of them, each one of them. And I think just before she died, she used the skull soap dish one last time to wash her hands, and then she died. And her grave, I believe, is right over here. And look who's here. Hey, buddy. We have a pup who snuck up behind me here. Hi, pup. He is hanging out right here at Aunt Jenny Johnston's grave. Well, let's let's look at some of these gravestones. What a surprise. Love dogs. Look at this. These all have to be Civil War era graves. Look at this. Right in the middle of the woods, guys. Look at that over there. Let's check this out. Looks like some type of slate, or I wonder what kind of stone this is. Definitely native to the area. Look at this. Probably a child. A very small enclosure, or as we call cradle graves. And there's no real markings that you can see. Oh, there goes the pup. He's heading into the woods. Yeah, here he goes. He's heading that way. I don't know if you can see him. Well, hopefully he'll be back. Let's see if there's an inscription here. I don't think so. No. Most of these you can't. There's nothing to read. What an eerie place. Completely silent except for the crunching of these leaves. I'm sure it's going to sound loud because it's nothing else here. I think I can hear the frogs or the crickets in the distance, but well, let's take a look at her grave. Now her gravestone, of course, this is new, has been taken many times. I don't think anyone's going to take this one. And it says, at rest, Aunt Jenny, Louisa Elizabeth, Jane Bates Brooks Johnston. Born in Kentucky, January 22nd, 1826. And here, Alabama, she died March 29th, 1924. Very interesting. You know, I was talking to a gentleman at the gas station about 20 miles away from here, and he actually lives around here, and he immediately knew. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I got a channel, and this is what I'm doing." Aunt Jenny Johnston, oh yeah. He said, "You don't go in here at night." And I was like, "Oh, brother, ghost stories, right?" Yeah. He said, "Oh no, my friend got drunk, came here at night," and there's all sorts of... He was telling me all sorts of stories, but the one story he told me of his friend, he came here and he did something, didn't desecrate, but started a fire or something, and he went home and he had a heart attack. I kid you not. He just told me that. So no, I told him, I said, "I don't have any plans to come here at night." No way. Can you imagine coming here at night? You got to be out of your mind. Look at all the flowers, though. The grave next to her says Henry B. Brooks, 1862 to 1920. I don't know if... I see Brooks is her maiden name. Maybe that's her brother, I don't know. Maybe you guys can check. So this is a story that's been handed down from generation to generation here. It's very famous. And of course there are those stories like I told you. And it said that her house was still standing until 2010 and it burned down. So I'm not sure if that's true or not. I'd be interested to hear that. But this is just an amazing place. Can you imagine being here back then and living through the Civil War and walking through these woods, of course, with your rifle, as one of the sons, and this whole territory, and just never knowing what you're going to encounter. The Confederates, the Union forces coming down, everybody up for grabs. It's some amazing history here. So, well, Aunt Jenny Johnston, rest in peace.